Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a really big one for you today. With the change of the administration here in the United States, we have a lot of activity to talk about, and there will be a tidal wave of activity and changes moving through the crypto space in the coming weeks and months. We look at the possibility of the new U.S. Treasurer being not very hip when it comes to crypto. BlackRock Group says, don't worry about that because we are. They're making moves in the crypto. And there's still one very big problem with CBDCs. We're going to get into that. And are we about to see one of Ripple's executives become the next head of the OCC? Let's roll that intro. Here we go.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove at the top of the screen and everything that we're talking about here today. We start with this from the Daily Huddle. Janet Yellen says she's concerned about illicit use of crypto assets. Chainalysis finds that 0.34% of transaction volume connected to crime. And the former Federal Reserve Chair and Treasury Secretary nominee, Janet Yellen, is addressing the potential use of crypto for illicit financing. So here's what I can say about this. Look, I don't know about you guys. I've been in the space going on 4 years now. So I think it's four and a half, whatever it is. But anyway, I've been here long enough to know that I am tired of hearing political people and regulators talk about illicit activity. I get it. We don't want to see somebody do nefarious things with cryptocurrency. But the reality is that the most illicit activities that are taking place are happening with cash. Let's get real. Okay. So if you care so much, why don't you start there, right? Because it's very easy to KYC everybody, which they've already started to do. So we'll keep an eye on it. But let's hope that Janet Yellen, should she fully be nominated, move on into the position, let's hope that she does take an approach where she's not looking to harm or stifle innovation in this space as we move forward. Now, I'll tell you who's not worried about it is BlackRock. BlackRock Investment Group handles trillions in asset management. The world's largest multi-trillion-dollar asset manager says it will buy Bitcoin futures via certain funds. BlackRock has already given 2 of its funds the green light to invest in Bitcoin futures. Thank you to XRP Crypto Wolf for that one. Let's talk about this because CBDCs will address cross-border interoperability. We know this. They will require collaboration between central banks and what? Private blockchains. And they may be able to utilize a neutral bridge currencies that provide liquidity and instant settlement for cross-border payments. Now I want you to think about that for a second because that's what I was saying in the opener. You know, there's still one thing missing. Everybody's making their own central bank digital currency. I get it. Everybody made their own paper money too. And then there's the friction of settling those transactions digitally. Obviously, everyone is going to build a private blockchain or a private network on top of open source technology such as the XRP ledger. There will be a need to solve this friction that is replicated from the fiat world, paper world, in the digital world. And that is going to require neutral bridge currencies to do that. That really brings us to the whole role of XRP and why we're here and why we're in this moment now with the lawsuit with the market regulator, SEC, about XRP being an unregistered security. Now, we'll see how this goes forward, but I really do believe as we go forward, no matter what they call it, they will not harm the intended use of this asset. Now, as retail investors and speculators in this market, you do have to wonder when the clarity comes out on this, which will be amazing because once and for all, we won't have to have this conversation anymore, no matter what it is. And the conversation we're looking towards now and looking forward to see if we can figure out now is how does it work for retail investors and speculators? Will we continue to be able to access XRP after this ruling in the same manner we have for the last 7 years? All right, we'll keep an eye on that, but there's something's got to solve the CBDC issue. It's a fact of the matter. So looking here is a post from James Rule XRP, and it says State of Crypto, what the crypto world should watch for in a new Biden era. And I just wanted to point out here that obviously we know that we have a lot of things to watch out for with Gary Gensler and how he's going to position his new team and the SEC itself, knowing that this lawsuit was already out against Ripple because of Jay Clayton on his departure. We will see what happens with that. I don't know, but I mean, one thing we do know for certain is that Gary Gensler, in his years before this moment now that we're in, has made it very clear that he does see XRP as an unregistered security. I've offered the idea that we entertain the notion that it could be considered something that rhymes a lot with what would be a bearer bond. I don't know that that could be the case, and I certainly believe myself personally that XRP is, in fact, a currency. But that and 50 cents won't get you a cup of coffee. So we do have to look at the potential outcomes and try to analyze what they could be. If they were to go with like a bearer bond designation, it almost seems like it could be a way of declaring it a security without harming its full-scale intended use. And that's what I've been trying to do here on the show in the recent weeks, is just to make sure we keep our mind as open as possible that what they call it may not hurt it. So just trying to think openly from there, and thinking openly, it is being said here by Politico, that Biden may tap Professor Mirza Baradaran of the University of California, and also even the potential of tapping Dean Michael Barr of the University of Michigan Ford School of Public Policy to succeed Brooks. Baradaran has testified on crypto multiple times in Congress, while Barr joined Ripple's Board of Advisors in 2015. Oh, this just gets even more fun. Yes, they are talking about Michael Barr that we talked about many times, who has come from the Treasury to work at Ripple, and he may be tapped to go to the OCC. Wow. I mean, could you imagine? Now let's entertain this notion. How about Mirza Baradaran? How about her? Let's listen to her. I want you to hear these couple minutes clip that I found. And I remember when she made them, and I was talking with Big Skinny the other day just about the fact that she had said this. And occasionally she would come up because she was so much an advocate for really decentralizing the banking system and getting the unbanked banked and things of that nature. And she talks about doing it through the post office and really making the post office a banking service. So let's listen to her in this couple minutes, and then I'm going to take you to another 30-second spot, and you're going to love every bit of it. So make sure you listen. Here you go.
Is thin ice. The simple problem is this. The U.S. payment system is only available to banks and their customers. If you're outside of it, you pay a toll. I urge Congress to open up these tracks on which our nation's commerce run. To everybody, Congress need not reinvent the wheel. Congress already created a public system, the Federal Reserve. The Fed's explicit charter is to serve the public interest and to increase the integrity, efficiency, and equity of the U.S. payment system. That was a mandate that Congress gave it. I urge Congress to ensure equal access to this important public utility. I believe the most effective way to do this is through a partnership between the Fed and the postal banks of this country, or postal offices of this country. On the back end, these deposits would be handled by the safe and secure central bank, as my colleague Morgan Ricks will explain. On the consumer side, you could go to the local post office, deposit your money, take cash out of the ATM without fees. You could set up automatic bill pay through online or mobile banking, get a debit card and use it on online shopping, etc. Fed accounts, digital wallets, all of those are essential and will be great, but we need to close this cash digital divide first. Between 20 to 40 million Americans don't have broadband. A lot of the elderly are not comfortable with mobile payments or don't have mobile phones. So to illustrate the point, this is the closing. I'll tell another story that happened in Duncan, Arizona, when they lost their only bank. The nearest bank was 40 miles away. Business revenue shrank by 20% when they lost their bank. American banker journalist Kevin Wack went to the town and began talking to residents. One hotel owner said that she just walks over to the post office, buys a single stamp, and requests a check back, which is cheaper than patronizing any of the town's ATMs. An electricity cooperative in town uses the post office for their business accounts, rather than keeping currency on hand or driving far away. Thankfully, he says, the post office is the unofficial bank. Another resident says, it has made me think why shouldn't the post office start to fill the role of small banks in these towns? Indeed.
Listen to her enthusiasm as she tells you. And listen, this is a congressperson who, by the way, did not need any schooling about what's going on with DLT or blockchain or being able to really decentralize things to the point that you could be all inclusive and create this level playing field. She knows exactly what's going on and she's enthusiastic about getting it done. Then to back up that point, let me take you to another spot where it is absolutely undeniable that she knows exactly what's going on. I want you to listen right. Let's see if I can get this now. Of course, it'll take forever because I'm sitting here recording, but it always does. Now, listen to the question that's asked here from Representative Stephen Lynch, and listen to what's asked and how she responds here.
Focus on this, put resources toward it. Best case scenario, what do you think that looks like? Ms. Baradaran, I'd like to hear from you first, if possible.
I mean, I think it will take as long as we put our priorities into it. If we want Fed accounts through postal banks, we can do that. We have the technology. There are a few things around the edges that we could do. We would need ATMs at certain post offices. We would need the Fed to do real-time payments and other types of efficiency things. But those are things that are well within our technological capacity or institutional capacity. These are
Now, you tell me, I mean, this is someone, again, who is on the task force on financial technology, and she's telling you that we could have done this a year ago. We have the technology. You have the distribution with the post offices. You may need to add some ATMs and some tech somewhere in some way in some of these places, but it's all there. It's all there. And she's absolutely right. So when you think about this, the potential next head of the OCC could be either a replacement for Brian Brooks, could either be Michael Barr from Ripple or this woman, Mirza Baradaran. I tell you what, I'm liking the looks of this and the fact that I don't think there's going to be a long learning curve for whoever comes into that seat. They're going to pick this ball up and they're going to start running with it right quick. Now, just to let you know, the idea of the post office really using blockchain is not a new one. This was sent to me a long time ago by Costa Rica Kelly, and this is from 2016 PDF, the United States Post Office, talking about the integration of blockchain technology and the possibilities and benefits for the entire postal system. Now, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you so you can breathe a sigh of relief, but I just want to show you that this is not just some congressperson shooting from the hip trying to just get some FaceTime with people who want to hear it. That's not what this is. Like I said, this document is from 2015, and it's all about how to work in blockchain. It even has a section in here where it breaks down Bitcoin and the proof of work, the normal stuff that we see in most of these settings. But I had one spot here I was just going to show you as a highlight, and it says the benefit of Postcoin. So you could have a postal coin that's used like a stable coin in between, right? I mean, all of these things are discussed. And again, this was in 2016. What they find here is that the post office could offer blockchain-based escrow services, acting as the trusted and neutral third party for transactions that take place both in the real world and online. Ladies and gentlemen, that would make it a bank. That's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Make sure you share with somebody you know and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And make sure you check out all the products and services in the comment section and the description box. They are products and services that I use each and every day, and they're trusted, vetted links. This is getting good, ladies and gentlemen. Catch you on the next one.